Let's start with one word. The word is envy. Now, have you ever wondered why it is that people bully other people, why they abuse other people? Why do they do that? They do it because they want to feel superior to the person they are bullying, the person they are abusing, the person they are treating like crap. They want to feel better than that person. Why? Well, it's because they feel inferior. So by abusing you, it gives them a sense of control. It gives them a sense of superiority. They are aligning themselves in a higher plane than you are. Now, stop and think about that for a second. It's kind of a compliment. When a neurotypical people, and not all neurotypical people do this, but when a neurotypical person abuses you, it is because he or she sees you as somehow superior. And so you need to be put in your place, and your place is beneath them, always. All right, we're going to tie all this together in just a second, but let's take a look at these things. First of all, the individual who is abusing you wants what you possess. They want your attributes, they want your happiness, they want your character traits, they want the fact that you seem like you are in control, that you can control yourself when they cannot control yourself. And you say, Ken, wait a minute, I have these meltdowns. But you know what? I watch neurotypical people, and it's kind of like they're in a perpetual meltdown. I mean, they do not have the, what do we call it? The poker face mentality, the poker face mindset. They don't have that. The flat effect, it's never there. Their mind is always in a turmoil, it seems. But you're calm, collected, and outside of an occasional meltdown, these people look at you, some of them, and they say, I want that. I don't have it. This person is better than I am, speaking of you. So they are envious. And they want to put you down to elevate themselves. Now, this is kind of important. But keep in mind that, in my mind, envy and jealousy are not the same thing. In a sense, they're kind of opposites. So envy says, I want what you have. I'm envious of your possessions or whatever. Jealousy says just the opposite. Jealousy says, I don't want you to have what I have. I am very jealous of my possessions. So you may have a girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, and if somebody makes a move on your girlfriend and boyfriend, talking to mostly younger people here, do you feel jealous? Sometimes your romantic interest will intentionally, and please don't do this, will intentionally try to make somebody jealous by flirting with another person. Yeah, that's what jealousy is. Jealousy is not wanting others to have what you have, where envy is wanting to have what the other person has. So what we're talking about here primarily is envy, where these people want your possessions. They want your cool, calm behavior, your intelligence, the fact that you come across as being unshakable. And sometimes you do. That you are not part of the crowd. They are tethered to the crowd. They cannot escape the neurotypical hive mind. They couldn't get away from it if they wanted to. But you're totally unaffected by it, or at least it seems to them. Second thing we need to understand is these people who are bullying you and are abusing you, and keep in mind, we're not talking about everyone who is neurotypical. Some do this, many do not. But those who do it, they seem to be stuck in what I would consider a toddler mindset. And by that I mean one of the first words every toddler learns is the word mine. M-I-N-E. It's mine. What does a toddler think is his or hers? Everything. If it belongs to the toddler, they say, it's mine. If it belongs to you, the toddler says, it's mine. If it belongs to nobody, the toddler says, it's mine. You know what that is? That is a sense of entitlement, which is immaturity. It's childishness. It's a toddler mindset. And there are some people in the hive mind, in the neurotypical hive mind, who are stuck in this toddler mindset. These people are almost always narcissistic. It's mine. They're entitled to whatever you have. And if they can't get it from you, they are going to put you down. They're going to abuse you. Number 3 is they're going to manipulate you any way they can to get, okay, fill in the blank, to get whatever it is they want from you. Have you ever noticed that these people often boast about themselves? Why do people do that? Why do people say, my kids are better than your kids? They may not say it in those words, but they will tell you how great their kids are, their great accomplishments, whatever. And maybe they are good kids, but, that good? Well, maybe, but usually they exaggerate. Why do they do that? Why does somebody, it doesn't matter what kind of car they drive, they will tell you why it's better than your car. Or what job they have is better than your job. Now, they may be in a supervisory position, and maybe they do have a better job, and they don't mind telling you, but maybe they don't. They will explain to you why it's better to be poor than rich if they're poor. They will say, I don't have all these pressures. They'll come up with some reason to explain why being poor is a positive thing if they are poor. What are they doing? What they are doing, are you paying attention? Because this is kind of important. What they are doing is they are exposing themselves. They are revealing the fact that they have been comparing. That's why they say mine's better than yours, because they compare in their mind. That's why they say my kid's better than your kids. Maybe not explicitly, but implicitly. That's why they say my job's better than yours. That's why they say it's better to be poor like me than have something like you. Or inversely, they'll say it's better to have more than you because fill in the blank. What they have been doing is comparing themselves to you. They'll stop and think, when was the last time somebody did this to you? Probably frequently. Number 4 is they want to defend what they see as their prestige. Now, some of these people actually have prestige. Fairly common. There are prestigious people. And not all of them are bullies. Not all of them are abusive. But I've noticed something about bullies, about abusive people, that they always want the best seat. Doesn't matter where it is. If you're in a bus, if you're in a car, if you're on an airplane, if you're in school, a classroom, if you're in church, if you're in a theater, they always want and got to have the best seat. They always want to be first in line. Now, that's true, I think, of everybody, but to these people, it goes way over the top. If you are in front of them, you're setting yourself up for a smear campaign. How dare you? I mean, you got your nerve to be in front of them, and they will tell other people that you're an evil person. You say, how do I know this? Well, I know it because, I've experienced it. I'm in my 70s. I've got a lot of experience. I'm sharing with you some of the things I've learned, and I told this story a few months ago, one of my videos, but we were being transported from a motel to an airport at a preacher's conference, of all places. And there was one guy in the back seat, and he was really upset because he had to sit in the back seat. This is a nutcase. I mean, in my opinion, this is a child, but he was a full-grown adult. He was a minister, for crying out loud. But you have to understand that these people are out there, and if you're in the front seat, you are so arrogant. I mean, how dare you? Don't you know there is a pecking order? And this guy actually said this. There is a pecking order, and the guy in the front seat was out of place, should have been in the back seat. Now, obviously, this preacher, he probably knew better. He probably knew the Bible expressly teaches against that, but that's overridden by his ego. So keep in mind, they want to defend their prestige, real or imagined. There was nothing at all prestigious about this guy. He had a small church, well, relatively small, maybe 200 people. It wasn't like he was a mega church preacher. He wasn't a Joel Osteen or any of those types, just a plain ordinary guy, but he had this sense of entitlement. He was defending his prestige, his entitlement. I guess those words are kind of interactive, synonymous. Number 5 is they Well, they lack self-confidence. That's why they do that. Remember, we said the reason they compare things or the reason they boast about things is because, well, it reveals they've been comparing. We could say much the same thing about their self-confidence. The reason they behave so arrogant is to compensate for their feeling of inferiority. They lack self-confidence. So where do they get their confidence? How do they fill that void? Well, by stealing it from you, by being a bully, by treating you with disdain, by treating you with their arrogance, by being abusive. What are they doing? They're trying to build their self-confidence. You almost have to feel sorry for these people. Sorry, I don't feel sorry for them, but you almost feel sorry for them because they're abusive. I don't. But, man, they really lack self-confidence. I mean, there's something inside that is churning and turning where they have to put you down. Number 6, keep in mind, these people that we're talking about are nearly always narcissists. They have an insatiable appetite for what other people possess. By the way, it's not just you. They will do this to most anybody. I like to think of it as a conveyor belt. So you're a box on a conveyor belt, and they are abusing you and all the other boxes, people who came before you and people who are coming up after you. And they will continue to do that until you fall off the conveyor belt. Then they discard you. But maybe they may come and get you and put you back on the conveyor belt. So they can abuse you some more, but they're never satisfied. I mean, they have this insatiable appetite for what others possess. And not just material things. They want your character, they want your traits, they want your attributes, they want your happiness, what they see to be your happiness. And a lot of times when these people are examining those of us with autism, even though they are scandalous in their behavior, deep down inside, they kind of envious, They're envious of us. It's what we said at the very onset. Number 7 is this. I'm careful the way I phrase this when I say don't take it personal because, yeah, it is personal. And you do need to take it personal in the sense that defend yourself and do what you have to do to take care of yourself, but it's not personal. In that, they do this to a lot of people. It's not just you. They didn't single you out just because you were you. 8 billion people on the planet, and they singled you out. No, they single people out. There was something about you that they wanted to single you out, but they single out other people as well. So don't take it personal and thinking you are the only person. I guarantee you right this moment, there are many people with autism who are watching this video who have been singled out. But, if we've all been singled out, then that's not being singled out because, singled out means there's only one. This happens all the time. Let's tie all this together. What we're talking about is somebody who is acting superior to compensate for feeling inferior. They need to feel superior. And to feel superior, they need to abuse somebody that they can get away with abusing to give them that feeling of superiority. And who are they going to pick on? I mean, pick on. That sounds like a third-grade term, but that's what they do because, keep in mind, these are children, these are people with a toddler mindset. So they're going to select people with autism because they view us as easy to exploit, to compensate for that deep-rooted, deep-seated feeling of inferiority. So what do we do? When people are envious of us and they attack us and abuse us and bully us, I don't want you to feel sorry for these people in the sense that they have an excuse for doing what they do because they don't. But on another level, you kind of feel sorry for them the best you can because they feel inferior. And the only way they can compensate for those inferior feelings is to abuse other people. Well, you. And that is so very tragic that the only way they can feel a sense of worth is to hurt somebody. We will see you all next time.